all of you doing well and doing great. Thank you for joining to today's webinar. I hope that you're going to learn a lot and you're going to find it interesting. So guys, let's get started. So today we are going to talk about in today's webinar, as you know, this is about type of cybersecurity threat that you have in this today's world and how you can avoid. My name is Deepak. I have 15 plus years of experience in this field, and I have designed and deployed solutions for various organizations. Along with that, I have certain patents on my name. So this is the agenda for today. We are going to talk about the common cyber threats, what exactly these threats mean, how they work, and how you can safeguard yourself, which is basically how you can protect yourself. So let's get started. Let's talk about cyber threats. Like why we are going to talk about cyber threats, why it really plays a very important role nowadays. As you know that everything went on remote now. Most of the things, even the industry, the companies which are working, locally, companies basically went remotely. So the companies are working remotely with employees are remotely. They are accessing their stuff, their files, everything remotely. So what exactly happened in these scenarios is whenever you are working remotely, in those cases, you are going to require the internet connectivity. And internet, you know that basically it stands for intercommunication network. So there are so many people who are using the internet. Some of the people can spoof their identity, they can hide their identity, or they can try to perform certain attacks if there is a vulnerability which exhibit in your environment. So and nowadays what happened is after this COVID pandemic, so many industries, the companies, they were never working from home. They have to eventually start working from home. So they were not prepared to come on the internet on the live platform, and they have to bring their resources online so that people can access it. Now what exactly happened, when they came online, there were some vulnerabilities, some issues which were already there, which basically open the doors for the hacker to hack it out. That's the reason that cybersecurity attacks have been raised so drastically in this I would say from last year, since the COVID pandemic started. As you can see here, these are one of the, just a small view of it, which is from a threat map website. You can see so many attacks are being occurring. And so now, like it's not like occasional basis, it's daily basis. So many attacks basically occur. So that's something you are going to learn if you're going to plan to take the course. And that's something which is creating a boom in the industry. And the companies want to hire the cybersecurity expert, but companies are not able to find those people who can basically take over the security stuff for the organization, because there are so many job opportunities right now available in the market. And in this year, so many even new opportunities came up. Even it's a small company or a big company, every company wants to have a cybersecurity expert into their organization. So that's something basically you have to make sure that you are always keeping yourself up to date, because so many things are being trending. If you know about Accenture, you know about Cognizant, you know about Zoom, these organizations basically got hacked. So you know that these organizations got hacked. So I mean, the bigger brands got hacked. So if there's a smaller brand or something, what can be the impact on it. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind working on any other component. Like you're developing an application that you plan to go live with that application, you have to make sure that there are no doors for the vulnerability. Okay, what all these terms are, you're going to get a fair understanding in this today's webinar. So these are the top 8 cyber attacks which basically exhibit in the industry. There are so many, but we classified to the top 8, and we are going to talk about each of them one by one. So what exactly is malware? So let's start with that. So like I said, guys, we are going to deep dive in detail one by one what exactly those attacks are, what can be the impact, what's the meaning of it, and how you can remediate, like how you can protect yourself from those attacks. So what exactly is a malware? So you must have seen, I would say all of us have seen intentionally, unintentionally, some of the malwares we got captured by that. So this is basically, you can say it's any software which is designed to cause the disruption of any service on your computer, on your server, on your network, so that your like information can be leaked. The private information can be leaked. The sensitive information can be leaked to the unauthorized user, which is the hacker. So that basically is the malware. So these are a couple of different type of malwares that you have. You basically have computer virus, spyware, adware, Trojan horse, worms. So virus basically stands for vital information resource under siege. So your virus is something which is basically a program which has the capability to modify the other programs. Worm is something which is keep on replicating itself on your system till the time it has not exhausted all the resources. Spyware is something which is going to keep an eye on your environment, and it's going to reveal that sensitive data to someone else. Adware is basically in the form of pop-ups and AdWords where you click, and it's going to install the harmful malicious malware into your system. Trojan horse basically is a piece of code which resides in your computer. It looks like a legitimate program, but this is not a legitimate program, and it's basically a custom code which is written by a developer, which looks like a genuine program. And this is basically used by the hacker to reveal your sensitive information. Like if you're typing, visiting some websites, you're typing your credit card information, banking information, it's going to be available to the hacker. So how malware basically generally works, how basically it comes in your environment. There are three major, I would say, ways through which malware can come into your environment. First is through the email attachment. So when you're downloading basically an email, which is not legitimate email, which is not a normal email, which is basically being which you have received on your system. If you're going to open that attachment, it can have some exe file, some executable file. If you're going to run any kind of things on your system, it can your system can be impacted by the malware. Other is software download. Sometimes what we do is we have to download a software. Like I had to download a Microsoft software. I'm not able to find it out. You are going to download from the third-party websites which are not trusted. So in that case, those softwares are going to be downloaded. It may contain the virus. Like for example, Windows. Some people, what they do is like I want to install Windows 10 on my system. I don't have a license. So you are going to download the pirated copy of it. It's a customized sometimes version of Windows, which is available on so many websites. So let's say, for example, the original size of Windows 10 Premium is, let's say, 4.1 GB. That will have maybe 3.7 or 4.5. That's a customized Windows which has been changed by someone else. So you have to make sure that you're not downloading all this kind of things, because that can have malwares inside it, which can basically replicate into your environment, and it can basically reveal the entire sensitive information for you. Next is the OS vulnerability. Let's say your system has some vulnerabilities. You are not updating your Windows time to time. The security updates, the patches are not getting updated. So what will happen in those scenarios is it's going to impact your entire environment. So how you can stop the malwares, how you can basically make sure that malware is not getting replicated into your environment, how you can protect yourself from that. First is to suspicious link, which basically means that you should stop clicking to suspicious link. Always study the URL, make sure that you're going through the URL before you click on it. Next is update firewall. So you have to make sure that your firewall is already up to date, which is one of the preventive measure to prevent yourself from malwares, because firewall prevent the transfer of large data file over the network. So that's basically should be the primary barrier for the hacker to come to your environment. You can even write the customized rule as well in the case of firewall. You can even block certain IP, certain ports. All this kind of customization you can do as well on your Windows machine. Last one is the updated operating system. You have to make sure that your computer operating system is up to date. So your software programmers update program very frequently to address any kind of weak points. So you have to make sure that your system, any kind of application you have installed on your system, or even your operating system itself, it's up to date. Next one we have basically is a phishing. So what exactly is phishing? So most of the attacks on financial institution in the past 3 years have not been through brute force attack. So it has been through acquiring the passwords, acquiring sensitive information, that is known as phishing, wherein your sensitive information is going to be revealed to someone else. So what exactly is phishing used for? So it's used to steal your confidential data, to harvest your login credential, to impersonate, which is basically for spoofing as well, wherein someone else will be behave like someone else. Like in this case, you see this guy at the back end, the original guy, let's say, is Mr. Bob. So this guy, his name is Charles. He's a hacker. He will try to impersonate that he's Bob, and he will talk to this another person. So impersonating is again one of the other things for which we use the phishing. So how basically we can protect? So this is again one of the example where you can see that how you can protect yourself. You got an email. You have to make sure that you are reading that email very carefully, because we got an email from Amazon.com. Dear client, we have strong reason to believe that your credential may have been compromised. So you have to log into your account to unlock. Wherein once you're going to click on this account, it's going to redirect you to another website, whatever the credential you're going to put, your username and password, it's going to be revealed to the hacker. Now what you have to do is you have to basically keep an eye on certain things. Like in this case, you have to see that what is the sender email address. You see it says Amazon, but if you see carefully, it's management at Amazon. It's A is missing. This is not a right one. Along with that, you have to basically look for common generalized advertising. You should not click on any of the link. Just put your cursor and see where it's redirecting. If you see right now, if I'm putting the cursor, it says fake Amazon.com. I hope all of you can see this. And even it uses HTTP. It should be HTTPS and it should be Amazon.com. This is not a real website. As you can see here, so you should basically make sure that this is from a right person. You should basically refrain yourself to clicking on the link. Always put your cursor, see the tooltip. What is the URL before you click on any of the link? Clear? The third attack is basically the password attacks. So in the case of password attack, this is basically an attempt. This is an attempt to decrypt your user password for illegal use. So here in this case, the hacker will try to guess your password through different ways. In certain case, he can use dictionary attack. He can try to use certain sniffing tool to sniff into your passwords. So he will try to reveal your password so that he can basically access your environment. So for example, if I got your username and password of Amazon, I can do a lot of things. I can place the order. I can just make so many kind of changes here. So that's something hacker is going to do. So what are different type of password attacks that we have? There are various type of password attack. First is a brute force attack. In this case, what will happen is hacker will try each and every different permutation combination. He will try each and every combination till the time he is not able to compromise your environment, till the time he is not able to reveal your password so that he can log into your system. Next one is the dictionary attack. So dictionary attack basically is an attack wherein attacker, or you say basically hacker, will try to use all the passwords which is available in the dictionary. So dictionary attack is an attack wherein all the hackers are going to mention the list of common passwords, and you are going to try those passwords if you can access the account with that specific password. Next one is a keylogger attack, wherein if you're using a keylogger, he will try to get the password from the keylogger, and he will be able to try the passwords from that keylogger, and he will be able to access your environment from that. How you can stop the password attack? The first is update password. So it's always a great idea to keep changing your passwords regularly. You can say that every quarter, every month, I'm going to change the password, and you should not make your password into a same sequence. For example, my password is welcome123. Every quarter I'm changing welcome 456, welcome 777. You should not follow the same sequence. You should basically change every quarter, every month, depending on the feasibility that you have. But at least in a quarter, you should change it out. Next is you should use alphanumeric characters, which means that you should use the password which has a combination of the numbers, alphabet, and the special characters. And last one is no dictionary, which basically means that it's always a good idea to use the password that makes sense to you only. You should not use the common password. Like I said, in the case of dictionary attack, hacker will have the common passwords like welcome123, QWERTY123. So you should not use the common password. Use a password which is related to you, which makes sense to you for your understanding. Now, next type of attack that we have is a DDoS. DDoS means distributed denial of service. Basically, in this kind of attack, hackers will try to bring your service unavailable. So by sending so many bogus requests. So basically, hacker will send so many bogus requests to your server, to your system, to your machine, and so that your machine is going to be unavailable. It's going to be offline. So one of the easiest ways through a packet flooding. Right now, you see these 4 computers are sending so many bogus requests to your server, to your system, which is going to bring your system offline. How you can prevent yourself from this attack? So basically, in order to prevent from this attack, one of the easiest ways that you should always use traffic analysis. You should always use certain tools like SIEM/SOC solutions, which is going to monitor your environment, and it's going to send you an alert if unauthorized user is trying to access it. Other way is that you can have a recovery management tool. If something in certain cases, let's say if system got down, it was not available, through recovery management tools, you can have a clustering service. Like in the case of Microsoft, it provides a clustering service. You can bring your environment up. That's basically all about the common the tools that we have. So that's basically is one of the most important thing that you have to understand, because DDoS is one of the attack which happened for your services if you go live. So now let's take a look before we move on. Structured learning at Edureka. If you are planning to take a course from us, how basically the course architecture is going to look like. So let me just share with you. So if you're going to planning to take a course from us, we basically start with introduction to cybersecurity and ethical hacking. If you want to dive in more detail related to the course, this is going to be the topics, the stuff, the approach that we basically follow. First is introduction to cybersecurity. What exactly is cybersecurity and what exactly is ethical hacking, the difference between that. We are going to dive in more detail in the first module with the hands-on on it. Then we are going to move forward with cryptography. What exactly is a cryptography, which means converting your plain text data into ciphertext, converting the data from readable form to unreadable form, and the hands-on on it. Then we are going to talk about what are the computer networks, different type of networks that you have, and how you can apply security on the networks, and the hands-on. Then we are going to talk about application and the web security. What is the app and web security, and the hands-on on it. Then we are going to talk about IAM, or you say IDAM, it's one and the same thing, which is identity and access management, the hands-on on it. Then we are going to talk about VANSH, which is vulnerability analysis and system hacking, and the hands-on on it. Then we are going to talk about sniffing and SQL injection. What exactly is sniffing? What exactly is SQL injection, and the hands-on on it. And lastly, we are going to talk about DOS and session hijacking and the corresponding hands-on on it. At the end, you are going to become a superhero like this who will have a cape. You know, just kidding. So at the end, you are going to be one who will have enough knowledge so that you can hit the market. You can apply for the jobs in the same field. Clear? So let's move on. The other type of attack that we have is a MIM attack, which is known as man-in-the-middle attack. Something is pretty straightforward to understand. So man-in-the-middle attack basically means that if you're sending a data, from your system, let's say from my system, my server, I'm sending data to someone else. Like I'm a sender, I'm sending the data to receiver. So if I'm sending the data, then in that case, what will happen is if someone will try to eavesdrop the communication, someone will try to listen to my communication, what exactly I'm sending, that person will be able to understand. So what we do in such case, in such scenario is, in order to avoid man-in-the-middle attack, we use certain techniques that I'm going to show you, in a moment. So in this case, like you can see there, this guy who is the user, he has a bank account in this bank. Now he tried to log into his bank account using the username and the password. So he mentioned his username and the password, and this is a man-in-the-middle attack. Someone is trying to eavesdrop the communication. Someone is trying to understand what exactly is the message that he's trying to send to the other person. That basically is the example of man-in-the-middle attack. How you can prevent yourself from this? In order to prevent yourself, you should basically use encryption. Encryption basically, I guess it is a way in which we basically convert your plain text data, which is the readable form, into the unreadable form. So in this case, you can basically use a VPN if you want to, if you want the info to connect to your environment. VPN basically stands for virtual private network. Each and everything is going to be encrypted. You can use HTTPS and TLS 1.2 at least. Like in this case, wherever you see HTTPS, wherever you see on the website, you see a log icon, it means that the communication is encrypted so that no one can eavesdrop and make the modifications. Clear? The next one that we have is, which is known as DBD, which is known as drive by download. Basically, in this kind of attack, the basically what hacker is going to do is it's going to make your system vulnerable when there is any kind of weakness in the system. So drive-by download attacks occur when vulnerable computers basically get infected by just visiting a website. Now, if I am visiting a website and if there are some kind of malicious content, anything, so it's going to be downloaded on my machine, which is going to make my machine vulnerable and entire systems vulnerable. So in this case, this is again one of the common thing which happen whenever the people who are accessing the website so frequently without checking it, their systems get compromised. And when you're working in an organization, in that case, if your system get compromised in the same network, all the system can get compromised. So this is again one of the very small examples, of the website basically, which is basically, just CHFI. So basically, you can just go on the website. You can see, okay, this says by WordPress.myfashionblog.co. It does not seems to be a genuine site, but maybe I can try to create an account. And if I'm accessing a website like this, in that case, the traffic can be, replicated. The data can be replicated to other networks as well. So from my side, from my system, if I'm coming on this server, it's going to replicate the entire data to the entire different servers as well, whosoever are going to there. Like in this case, I try to log in, my credentials are stored on a database. Now it can be transferred to the different file server. And this guy can send some malwares, which can be, infect my computers, and from my system, other systems are going to be infected. Okay, next one that we have is malvertising. So malvertising, basically, as the name suggests, in this case, what happen is, the hacker will try to show you some kind of advertisement, wherein you will see that, okay, some kind of offer is there. You have to click on this. Once you're going to click on that, it's going to redirect you to that website, and it's going to, propagate that malware into your environment. Now, for example, this is a website which is fakesite.co. You are going to click on it. You will be able to see certain pop-ups, like you are going to redirect to the different website. You will be able to see the pop-up, and when you're going to click on any of the pop-up, it's going to inject malware into your system, which is going to bring your entire system down, or it's going to reveal the sensitive information to the other unauthorized user. So how you can protect yourself? You should refrain yourself on clicking this. You should always make sure that your system is always up to date. You have the ad blockers, where the extra ads are being blocked, and it's not being available to the it's not appearing up on your web page. The last one is basically the ROG software. So it is also known as scareware. It is also known as Smith fraud. So this is again one type of malware which is designed to damage or disrupt your computer system. So in this case, your software, it's not going to only trick your system. It's also going to redirect you to a website through which you can basically purchase something. So in other words, it's going to bring your services, your system down. Along with that, it will try to trick you so that you can just put your credit card information to purchase something. Now in this case, for example, you got this pop-up that please update your software to protect yourself from unknown access, and you clicked on it. You clicked OK. Now what will happen is, now you will get another option, virus alert, and it will ask you to put your credit card information. You're going to put the credit card information to purchase it, and after that, boom, your system is going to go down. It's going to replicate the maybe worms or any kind of other malware it has. It's going to make your system inaccessible. So how you can basically prevent from it? So you can basically prevent yourself from it by updating your firewall, by making sure that your firewalls are up to date. You have basically antivirus, anti-spyware softwares. You are basically not clicking on the links which does not seems to be genuine. Okay, guys. So we can wrap up for today. Thank you, everyone, guys. Take care.